Excited to be back with you on another episode of AH Live, and we have a very special guest in the house today, a multi-talented individual, not only an amazing pianist, but an amazing vocalist as well. Yes, I'm talking about Brian Clay by way of Knoxville, Tennessee. So we're going to hear from him a couple of great tunes, and also we got a chance to sit down with him and chat. Speaking of which, it's always great to share these amazing artists and their story with you. Do us a favor, click share. Let's spread the good vibes tonight and just get this show out to as many people as we can. Don't forget to follow Adam Hawley artist page. And because we have so much going on. The new single just dropped on Monday a couple days ago. I now have copies of the new album. So if you want to grab a copy, we make it super easy. You can pre-order it. Well, it's not even a pre-order now. Now it's just an order on adamhawley.com, and I will ship it to you, a signed copy. Just go to the store on my website, and you can also pre-save it on iTunes, Apple Music, Spotify, etc. So check that out. The new album is Rising Up. The title track is out there, hopefully on a radio station near you. And we're just going to keep it rolling. And today is not unlike many of the other episodes. I've got another sneak preview for you from the new album. This is a track. It is track number 5 on the album. It's called On the One. And I was going for a little bit of a retro vibe, kind of an 80s, 90s jazz, contemporary jazz kind of vibe. And had a lot of fun working on this track. Got some of our favorites on here. Eric Valentine on drums. We've got Ramon Islas on percussion. Carnell Harrell added some synths. I'm on there playing rhythm guitars, Rhodes, synth bass. So we got a lot of the familiar characters on here, and I hope you enjoyed. It's another preview from the new album. This is On the One. Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, that was On the One. Track 5 off of the brand new record, Rising Up. You can order it now. I've got copies. The only place you can grab it is on my website, adamholly.com. Hope you'll go grab a copy and enjoy the new album number 4. So as I mentioned, we've got an incredible guest. Real quick before we jump over to him, don't forget you can click the link in the description. It'll take you to my website, PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, and also Stars, where you can support this show. You guys are the reason we've been here over 70 episodes and counting. So appreciate you guys in advance. Thank you so much. And without further ado, I hope you enjoy the one and only Brian Clay.
All right, what's up, Brian? How you doing today?
Man, I'm doing great. Adam, thanks for having me on AH Live. I love it. I've been watching you for months and months, and now I'm here, so I feel like I've made it.
Oh, please. No, it's an honor to have you on, man.
Thank
you are so talented, incredible. Just so the audience knows, we met. You were so kind to have me come down and do your jazz series in Knoxville, yes. And man, what a blast. So it's great to connect with you again.
Great to connect again. Yeah, Jazzpirations Live, as has been for many series, kind of on hiatus with all the stuff for the last year. But you were in January 2020. You kicked off my 2020 season, and you absolutely killed it. So thank you for being at Jazzpirations Live, man. Thanks a lot.
You're too kind. My only regret is I didn't know until after I left that you sang like that. I was like, man, opportunity missed. I should have had a mic there for you, man. You got to let me know.
A little something. So I do that from time to time. But I dabble in a little vocal stuff. I'm a big fan of jazz vocalists like Gregory Porter. Those, Layla Hathaway, those kind of vocalists. And I try to do some of that same stuff. So, yeah.
No, amazing. Well, yeah, along those lines, I definitely want to start with you where I start with everybody. How did you get started with the piano? And let's throw the voice in there too. What were your beginnings with both of those?
Man, I started playing piano when I was 4 years old. Four. Yeah, little kid. I had 3 older brothers, the youngest of 4. and our parents always had us doing extracurriculars and sports and music and all that. They were all taking piano lessons. And what they do is they'd practice and they'd take their lesson and do all that. And then the story says that I'd jump on the piano after they got finished and I'd play what they played, without the music or without the practice. I was just, and they were like, oh my God, what do we have on our hands here? So my parents got me lessons at 5, got some classical training. I had a great teacher when I was a kid who would not only give me Beethoven and Bach and Hanon and that kind of thing, but she'd also make me play Charlie Brown and the Commodores and Billy Joel stuff too. So that's where the plan started. I've been singing the whole time as well. I've just taken up more vocal stuff here in the past few years when people are like, you should sing more. So I've been singing more.
No, you sound unbelievable. And I feel like, man, I feel a little lazy. I started piano at 8. So you beat me by 4 years. Man, I don't know what I was doing those first 4.
You're a slacker.
I pretty much.
Go ahead. I was going to say, when you start very young, you don't realize that music is supposed to be one of those things you don't necessarily like. So, you starting at 8, I started 4 or 5. I loved it. It was everything for me. So when folks went out to play basketball or they went to do this or that, I was going to the piano, just playing.
Wow. And so talk about, it's not a little known fact, Knoxville is not known for being a huge jazz capital here in the States. However, you have cornered the market. You've got an incredible series going on there. How did you end up in Knoxville, and how were you able to build it up like you have?
Well, I was born in Chicago, raised in Atlanta. So from the time I was about 8 years old to college, I cut my teeth in the Atlanta music scene. And the Atlanta music scene, everybody who's anybody comes through this way, incredible support players and great players in the Atlanta scene. So I got a good education and a good experience playing there. I moved to Knoxville actually for a director of music position for a school and a church. And I came here in 2010. And being in the Atlanta scene, there was always music to do. Knoxville much smaller. So I just decided I was going to start some things, that I would create a series. I've got a syndicated radio show that airs here now. And the Knoxville scene has embraced me, and it's growing. And because of guys like you coming through town and just just ripping up a concert. Thank you.
No, it was so much fun. I mean, I felt the electricity immediately from the first song. People were hyped. They were yelling. I was like, hold on. Let me play the song.
Yes.
So the audience is there. That's so cool that you were able to bring them in and deliver what they're looking for. They definitely want it. It just took somebody like you to put it together. So
I'm fortunate to, and I had the radio background, the musical background, so I was able to put it all together. As you have a wonderful person in your wife who is right there alongside you in the work. My wife is the same way. You met her when you were here, so so she helps me to make sure that I'm the creative. She makes sure that the administrative stuff gets done right. But we love it, and Knoxville loves it now.
So you have 6 projects to your name, but the newest one is very exciting. I went and took a listen in iTunes all the way through, and it sounds fantastic. Give us just a rundown. What are we looking at with this new project?
The project is entitled This Is Me. I had that revelation over the pandemic time that I was just going to sit down with all the extra time in front of my keyboard and write and create and record and that kind of thing. And after a while, I started thinking to myself, you know what? I really just want to create something that is me, that is indicative of who I am, my creative ideas, my energy. I didn't try to sound like anybody else. I didn't try to create music. I just created the music that came out. So the project is called This Is Me, 8 tracks. Everything is very smooth, very laid back, which is what I like. I've got some island feel on a track. I've got something real funky with a lot of percussion on another one. A reboot of a classic, Little Sunflower. I did that, a cover. And then I rebooted one of my own tracks that I released about 10 years ago called 88 Ways when I released it back then. A nod towards social media. It's called 88 Likes.
No, and you brought up a great point, 88 likes, because I've been enjoying you and your live streams as well. Man, where do you see this going? I know that you're independent artists, you're self-produced, you've got your radio show, live stream. What's your take on where we're headed and how all of this, connects in terms of, bringing things to our audience?
I think we've seen a couple of things with regard to the music industry and how we had to handle things during the pandemic. One of the major terms I kept hearing used over and over is pivot. Folks have had to try to figure out how to pivot. Some have done it better than others. I've been fortunate enough to feel like I found ways to use digital technology, to use streaming technology, to be able to continue to share my music and share my craft. It's a different monster. The energy in a room is totally different if there's nobody in the room. So had to get used to that. But technology-wise, figuring out streaming, USB connections and multi-platforms and all this. But then you end up with, I'm trying to get like you. My backdrop is kind of cool. I've got some stuff over here, some stuff over there. But I think it opens up another lane for artists to create and then share their work. Well, it's not far down to paradise. At least it's not for me. And if the wind is right, we can sail away, find tranquility. Oh, the canvas can do miracles. Just you wait and see. Well, it's not far back to Saturday. At least it's not for me. If the wind is right, we can sail away, find tranquility. Oh, the canvas can do miracles. Just you wait and see. Believe me. Yeah. Don't you sadly takes me away where I always heard it could be. With the dream and the wind carry me, soon I will be free.
I agree, and I've enjoyed your broadcasts. They've been great, and I fully sympathize because I've even had people reach out that watch the show. They said, "Yeah, you look tired tonight," and you forget, when you don't have that interaction, it's just a camera, but you got to still, you got to remember they are on the other side of that camera, even though you can see them right now. And so, they were quick to tell me, you didn't have your coffee today, did you?
Yeah, you got to keep that energy going because the focus is you. If you're in a band situation, you can look at your sax player or you can look at your drummer and they can take the energy while you say, whew. But that's not going on if you're by yourself. So, but we work on it. We get better at it. We get better.
You're a fantastic talent, and really want everybody to check out Brian and his incredible music. Speaking of which, please let us know where we can find you online and social media, etc.
Absolutely. If you look for Brian Clay or Brian Clay Jazz, any platform, you'll find me. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Brian Clay Jazz is the website as well. So yeah, just look me up. If you Google it, then you can also order my music on all of the platforms: Apple Music, Amazon, Spotify, Pandora, you name it, I'm there.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Brian. So great to connect with you. Give my best to your lovely wife, and appreciate you taking the time to come through AH Live.
All right, the one and only Brian Clay, and we have a special guest today, ladies and gentlemen, Rufus the dog. He just got coiffed by his groomer, Zeke, and he is looking so handsome today. If you remember last week, we were showing a little picture of Adam Jr. walking him. He looks so handsome when he's all groomed. And Rufy, can you look at the camera over here? Oh, no. Up here? He's trying to get down, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I don't know how long I can keep this going, but let's try to bring in my lovely wife, Kat. There she is.
Wow.
And what do you think about the grooming job from Rufus?
He looks so cute. I love when he gets freshly groomed because his ears are all fluffy and he smells so good. You can smell him like down the hall with his like doggy cologne.
I know, right? Here, let's see if I can get the guitar cam, which is really the Rufus cam going right now.
Really,
let's
the
see.
Rufus cam.
Okay, can you get down here a little bit, Rufy? Right there. Down here. A little bit. Oh, if he would sit down, it would be perfect. Anyways, you guys get the idea. He's about to jump out because little Adam is in the room, Adam Jr., and he wants to get to Adam Jr. Oh, actually, he's going over to Kat. He just doesn't want to be next to me right now. Oh, well. You win some, you lose some. There's a little bit of Rufus Jr.
You lose some.
Anyways, how about Brian Clay?
Brian Clay was awesome.
And ladies and gentlemen, we mentioned in the interview a little bit, but it's kind of funny. That was one of our last shows before the pandemic. We went down to Knoxville in January of 2020. Mm-hmm. That was a crazy weekend, too. We did South in Philadelphia. Then we did Knoxville.
Okay.
We flew to Nashville, rented a car, drove to Knoxville.
Yes.
Did the show, then drove back to Nashville. We actually hung out in Nashville for a couple hours.
Yeah, we did.
Then we flew to Tampa.
Oh, that's right.
And did the Tampa Bay Black Heritage Festival, hanging out with Nicholas Cole, and that was BK Jackson's show. Me and Nicholas were special guests, and so that was a wild weekend. But appreciate you, Brian. It was so much fun. His series was just electric.
Yeah,
if you remember the crowd, they were just like ready to go from.
Yeah, it was so much fun. Yeah, and just like you said, the crowd was electric. So many people were loving it, and it just was like a high energy show from like the top of the show. It was so much fun.
And as you guys could see from Brian's performance that he sent in, I'm just mad we didn't have Brian sing. Y'all could have dueled or doing a duet or something. Brian's all incognito over there behind the keyboards.
Right.
It's like, dude, like let us know, man. He sounds incredible.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Anyways.
I was so surprised. I was like, okay, where is this coming from, and why did we not hear any of this when we were there?
He's being incognito over there. But anyways, appreciate you, Brian, so much for coming in.
Thank you so much.
If you guys haven't noticed already, we did pre-record this episode. We didn't want to miss a week. We're at 72 weeks straight. So actually, if you're not in Wisconsin right now watching us, then you're watching us obviously virtually. But we're actually performing literally right now at the Racine Animal Crackers Festival. Shout out to them for having us. And we actually, we're doing 5 shows in 5 days. So today's Wednesday, obviously. But if you're anywhere near Rochester, come see us tomorrow. Here, I'll throw up the tour schedule. Tomorrow, we're in Rochester, New York at the club at Water Street. We're actually doing the grand reopening of that club since COVID. Very excited. So tomorrow we'll be there with Judah Seeley. The next day we'll be at the Elmira Festival up in upstate New York. Grab your tickets for that. That's 2 days of incredible music. I'm playing on Friday. I believe on Saturday there's a great lineup too. Paul Brown and a few other people. And then we have 2 nights in Norfolk. Me and Jakeem Joyner are doing the Waterfront Jazz Festival, and then I'm doing a solo show the next day at Brothers, which is an intimate jazz club. There's only a few seats left. So hope to see you guys this weekend. And then next week we head out. We do Earl Clues Festival up in Colorado Springs, so we got to get our oxygen so we can make it through that.
Yeah.
But lots of shows coming up, so really excited about that. All the SoCal shows are sold out, but pencil in your calendar October 3rd, working on a new SoCal show.
Yeah.
It's not on sale yet, but when it is, we'll be sure to let you know. So just pencil it in for now, and any of you in San Diego, Temecula, LA, that'll be the next chance to see me, because Spaghettini sold out. Last weekend, South Coast Winery was sold out in Temecula. There's also Catalina, though. You can still get tickets for the Catalina Jazz Festival. You sail out of Long Beach on the ferry, and that is always so much fun.
Yeah.
That's our third time playing there. It's crazy.
It is, yeah. And, it's so unusual that there's this many Adam Holly shows in SoCal.
You got to take advantage,
close
ladies and
together.
gentlemen. Yeah.
And, part of that is because of the lockdown of everything in California from 2020.
We're back.
It's kind of like being crammed in now to just kind of fit, and then new stuff was added.
Right.
So, and I tell people all the time, like, there aren't this many SoCal shows ever.
Hey, you got to take advantage.
Yeah.
Come on out and hang. They're all different, too. That's the thing.
They are all different.
Catalina is going to be a very special show over there on the island. But then the show on October 3rd, it is a brunch show. So you get some amazing breakfast and then get to hang out with the Hollies. So
you get mimosas and Hollies.
Hey, come on now. Doesn't get any better than that. So anyways, well, we also have some pictures as promised from the past week. There's always something going on. So right now we're continuing with the pool. We're finally making some progress. Take it away, Kat.
Okay, so as you guys know, a few weeks ago, we were having so much trouble deciding on what stone tile that we wanted for the exterior of the jacuzzi, and to go on the upper wall, the bomb beam of the pool where like the waterfalls will be. And so I think we had a white one, a really dark gray one, and this one. And so many of you guys said that you really love the Sedona Gray, because I remember we asked for help and suggestions.
Right.
And that's what we selected. We selected the Sedona Gray. So it's a lighter shade of gray, and it also has some elements of like brown and a little neutralism going on, but it's really nice. And the tile.
Yep, let me pull it up.
You guys all know the the whole ordeal with the tile, how I went to so many different stores, and we chose this one. Actually, Adam Jr. chose this one because we had, I think, 3 that we were like, okay, we like these enough, so let's choose from these 3. Then we narrowed it down to 2, and I said, Adam Jr., which out of these 2? And he chose this one. And this one's really cool because it's like a muted gray, but it also has like light tan in it. The colors kind of variate within each other, and they're long. They're 36 inches, so it's not your typical, I guess, 6x6 square tile that you would normally see in a pool for the water line. So they're just going to be really long and linear. It looks so dope.
Yeah, and so they were working on it. We got pictures of them in action. And so it's starting to look like a pool. Finally. It was a huge hole in the ground, but now they did the shotcrete, which is basically concrete that they shoot out of a tube, hence shotcrete. They did the coping. Now it's the tile and the stone. And then after that, what is it? Is it they put in the
pebble?
Oh, the pebble,
which is like the floor of the pool.
Right.
And so, which is interesting because the pebble, they're all different colors. So they're just tiny little rocks that I guess are massed together.
Right. And
they're all different colors. However, the color schemes of the pebble determine what color the water will be, in the pool. And so we had a hard time deciding on that too. And so finally we just narrowed it down, I think, to like 4. and we were just looking at them,
Well,
and
it's literally infinite combinations.
Yeah.
Because you've got a million different types of pebble, a million different types of tile, and then the stone, and then when you lay them all together, plus, what is your yard, what's happening there with the flora and the fauna, and it's crazy. It's wild.
And I knew that there were different, obviously, shades that you could get your pool water.
Yeah.
But like you said, there's so many different variations, and you're just like, what in the world? So we decided on a pebble color called French gray.
Yeah.
But it makes the water a very nice, light, kind of teal color, similar to what you would see like at a resort. Or even in the Caribbean, like
I was just thinking that
the ocean water is just so beautiful, like a light teal color.
Yeah.
So we're excited about that.
Sometime in 2022.
Adam keeps joking about that, and I'm like,
swimming.
no.
No, I'd say another couple months on the conservative side because, every time they do a step, it's got to cure, and then you got to wait for the next crew to come. It's like each, it's a different crew for each setup.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any pool equipment pop up yet, so there's that too.
Right. And then, of course, the landscaping, which for the cement and everything, that could just take a day. But then there's the irrigation, like the plants and everything.
Yeah.
And I honestly think right now it might be too hot to like plant if we're going to do like palms.
Yeah.
Maybe for the
wait till the
succulents,
winter.
it'll be okay. But we'll probably have to wait until like October to do that.
I tell you, I'm not waiting for the landscaping. As soon as there's some water in there, I'm going in, and I can imagine the surroundings.
Right.
So.
Yeah, you'll be fine with the concrete around.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
give me a beverage. I'll make it work.
Yeah. But we are excited that we're at this point, but we still just have a little bit ways to go, just a little bit. And we appreciate so many people were giving their suggestions. They messaged and emailed Adam photos of things that they saw.
Yes, much appreciated.
Yeah.
We got
Thank you so
tile
much.
examples, so many different suggestions, and but we're excited. We're finally marching forward, and I had one more picture. I don't remember what it was.
Okay.
Let's see. Oh,
that's me.
Oh, this is from you. So this is not pool related. Well, it is kind of, because both of us have been rededicating ourselves to our fitness. We want to get in beach shape, pool shape,
backyard pool shape.
So this is a picture of this mirror is so gorgeous. You have it in the entryway, and then it doubles as a great workout mirror. So I see you're getting it in right here.
Yeah. So we all have spoken about this, and so many other people as well. When we were, I think more so people that were in areas that had a really strict lockdown. So for California, our lockdown was very strict and very long, and we just really enjoyed ourselves.
Yeah.
And it's kind of the thing where you're not home all the time, and like for me, I love to cook and bake, and I don't always have the opportunity to cook and bake things that I really want to do or try things out. So it's like, one day let's make brownies. Tomorrow let's have shrimp and grits. Let's have pasta for the third day in a row.
Right.
And it just was not very good. And then too, of course, all the wine and margaritas every single day.
Yeah. Well, when you have 3 double margaritas per night, it adds up.
Yeah. But I mean, the world was ending, so what were we supposed to do?
Right, yeah.
And then too, on a serious note, when my mother was in the hospital with COVID, for you that don't know, she almost died from COVID. Doctors said that she wasn't going to make it, but the Lord brought her through. And for me, I was having very extreme anxiety when she was in the hospital and even when she was home recovering. And I was getting heart palpitations and really bad chest pains, and nothing would calm me down and stop the chest pains except for alcohol.
Hey.
So, I mean, I'm serious, but it's funny, so I would, through the day, be drinking wine and margaritas, drinking my sorrows away, worrying about my mother.
Who helped you? Jim Beam, and Johnny Walker.
But really,
Tito.
So, and as you know, alcohol, when not, worked and burned off, just turns into sugar.
Yeah.
So,
and same for me. I definitely
our COVID
it hit us all hard.
lockdown was extreme.
Yeah.
So we kind of got back into it at the beginning of the year, and did really well. But then when we went on our vacay to Hawaii, we literally ate everything, which you're supposed to do on vacation.
But we're back on it now.
We're back on it.
Yep.
And that photo, is in, that's our front room, which is now our workout room. And that was the entry with the mirror. Her name is Ophelia. When I have really gorgeous pieces in the house, I tend to name them.
Wow.
And especially when they're vintage pieces, because they just kind of have like an aura to them.
I learned something today. I did not know it was named Ophelia. So,
really? Well, you know about Glory. I have this chest named Glory.
We'll have to do pictures of that next week.
But that's my mirror, Ophelia, and she's so beautiful.
But we've got a few items in there. We have an elliptical, we have a treadmill, and then we have weights, 5 pounds, increments of 5 up to 30, and then a weight bench. And some
our
yoga mats.
And then our slides.
Oh, yeah.
And
we have
walking
a few things.
weights. We have jump ropes.
Yeah. So
we have a lot of stuff.
And we've been going with walks with Rufus at night, so... Not 2 a days quite, but like 1.5 a days, basically. We do a full workout early in the day, and then go for a walk at night. So it's coming together.
It's coming around. It's coming around.
She'll be coming around the mountain. Well, hey, we had a ton of Ask Adam questions last week, so we saved them for today. We're gonna rock through them.
Okay.
Fire away, Kat.
Fire away. Okay. So this was from, I believe, like 2 weeks ago, because we've had so many, we've had to keep carrying over. So this is from Terry Silva, and she says, "What is your next project, Adam?"
Oh my gosh, I'm the current one's not even out yet.
But you're done with it.
Yeah, I'm done with it. You can pre-order it. I'm already thinking about the next project. I already got 5 or 6 songs set aside for the next project, but you know me, I like to reveal things slowly, so I'm not quite ready to announce, and I want to still revel in album number 4, Rising Up. So but don't worry, I've already started on new music, so it's coming.
Revel in it. And this is from Mike Brown. He always comes with great questions. He says, "Who is the piano collab of your dreams?"
Piano club. Well, I've been fortunate. Brian Culbertson was on my first album, which was awesome. He did an incredible job on a tune called Cruisin'. So that was great. I mean, there's so many amazing piano players that, unfortunately, Joe Sample, we lost him, but he would have been amazing to play with. Bob James would be amazing to do something with. He is unbelievable. Big influence of mine. So those are a few that come to mind. Oscar Peterson. Of course, more straight ahead jazz, but I've been known to dabble, and it would have been fun to do something with him. There's so many great piano players, but I would say of someone that's fortunately still with us, I'll put Bob James at the top of the list. That would be really cool.
This is from Isabella Nasser or Nassar.
Okay.
Gosh, I forget where she's watching from. She's watching from out of the country, and I forget, but she's here with us every week. Hi.
Hey.
If you're watching, please comment where you're watching from. Yes. Because I know you do say that you're watching, you say your name and where you're watching from, and I just can't think of it right now. I'm sorry. But I do remember you, and we see you, and we appreciate you.
Yeah.
Okay, so she's asking, which guitarist would you like to collaborate with in the future?
Which guitarist?
Yes.
Wow. Well, we've had some great ones on AH Live. Paul Jackson Jr. came through. Kelly Minucci.
Yeah.
I think we had one other great guitarist as well.
We've had a lot. We have a
great
Dandring.
one. Yeah, Chris Dandring. We've got a great one coming next week. I'll make sure to announce him a little bit later.
We had Roberto from the UK.
Oh yeah, Roberto Restuccia. Gary Purcell came on the show last week. So we've had some great guitars. I haven't done if I think about it, I don't think I've done an album with a guitarist yet, or a song on any of my albums. So that might be cool to try to do a duet at some point.
Yeah, that actually would be really cool.
You know who mentioned that was Kelly Minucci.
Really?
He said, "Hey man, we should do something because we had so much fun on the Facebook show, AH Live. So maybe look for that. We'll see if Kelly comes through that, or maybe I'll reach out to him and make something happen.
That would be really cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is also another from Mike and Crystal Brown, and Mike always has very interesting questions.
Yes. He's always trying to get me in trouble.
So this is for both you and I, so you can decide who answers first. He says, ask Kat and Adam. And this is a food and or drink question.
Okay.
So, one, would you have Italian or Chinese?
Oh, that's hard. I like both. If I had to pick one, it would be Italian. What about you?
Mine would be Italian as well. Two, steak or seafood?
Oh, it depends on what I'm doing because seafood obviously is lighter. So I have seafood often before a show. But if I'm going for like a special dinner, special meal, one of our favorites is Ruth's Chris. So it just depends. If I only could pick one, I'd pick seafood if I only could pick one because I can't eat steak every day.
Right.
It's like a special occasion.
Right.
So.
Well, and so for me, obviously it would be seafood because I don't eat land animals.
That's easy. All right.
Although I've really been thinking about going back full-time vegetarian. I started being vegetarian almost 10 years ago. Then I slowly started incorporating seafood, and I love it so much. But I'm kind of thinking of transitioning back, but we'll see. Okay, 3, wine or Tito's and soda with a splash of cranberry.
Oh. I like both as well. It depends on what type of mood I'm in. Like wine is a little more mellow, or maybe you're having dinner. Whereas Tito and soda, you can you'd be a little more
I
party.
could still turn up on some wine though.
It's a
But
smoother kind of though. Like vodka for me, that's like
Yeah.
But gosh, that's hard. If I only could pick one, I guess I'd pick wine because there's so many amazing types of wine and so many different types. Now we've been getting into Prosecco and Rosé, and it's just, and then the reds, and then of course if it's summer or you're having some seafood, maybe going with a white. I mean, it's an endless
so many,
world.
yeah.
Gosh,
I definitely would
choose
wine. Hence our wine cellar.
But Tito's and
progress.
soda is my go-to. So that's a hard one, man.
I know. I definitely would choose wine, but then Tito's, it's always like a safe go-to, like at the bar or something. Okay, and last one is cake or pie.
Pie. I'm not a big cake person.
Yeah.
Growing up, if you can believe this, as a kid, I didn't really like cake. We would often if we did have cake for my birthday, it would be an ice cream cake from Baskin and Robbins. That was kind of the hip thing when I was growing up. And so I'd always get an ice cream cake because I didn't really like the frosting on the outside. So yeah, I would definitely go with pie because there's so many great pies and cobblers. Exactly. What about you?
Yeah, definitely pie. We're not too much of cake lovers in the house. Even Adam Jr. For his birthday for years, he's just asked for Cinnabon.
Yeah.
So, and of course we've had parties. So what I would do is we would get 2 or 3 boxes of like a 6 or 8 count of Cinnabons, and I would just assemble them on a cake platter, and I would have to put like big steak sticks or like shrimp sticks and everything to like keep it up and sturdy, and then I would slather extra frosting all on top of it and then put a cake topper and some candles on it, so he'd have a Cinnabon cake. And all the kids would love it, and they would be like, oh my gosh, he has Cinnabons at his birthday party. But we're not too much of cake lovers. Same thing. I'm not really big on like frosting and stuff like that. If you have a good pound cake, I mean, yes, of course. And then we've been getting different types of cakes, like at our bakery that we like, Little Flower. They have olive oil cake, and they have a gâteau basque cake, which is like a traditional French pastry type of cake where it's like an almond crust, and then there's like really thick custard inside, like almond. So it's stuff like that where it's kind of artisanal and like, I guess, European.
Yeah.
But yeah, so definitely pie.
Yeah. Pie.
Definitely pie.
Pie.
Okay, and so this question, I think this is our last one.
Okay.
This question is from Robert Zahn. He always has like funny questions and comments and puns. So he says, when are you going to have a lava lamp in here? All the cool online jazz shows have one.
Wow. So is he suggesting this is not a cool show because there's no lava lamp? It's the chicken and the egg.
I know, right?
But we have this great sign behind me from
who
Adam
else
Jr.
has a light sign
Come
from
on
their
now.
sun.
Come on now. Look at that. We've got production value here on AH Live. So
And you know what? Adam Jr. actually has a lava lamp in his room.
Yeah.
Maybe you can convince him to
Maybe I can borrow
it
it
for one
for
show.
the shows.
Yeah.
That
But
is
I feel
too
like lava
funny.
lamps are kind of dangerous. They get so hot.
Yeah.
And Adam Jr. has it on his desk, like way in the corner, because
Right.
it's just really hot. If you touch it or you're near it, it's kind of,
Yeah.
yeah. But we
I
don't need no lava
apologize.
lamp.
I'm not trying to take your job, but I
Okay.
have questions that were sent to
Oh.
me. I didn't send them to you, so I'm just going
Okay.
to have to take the lead here.
Okay.
This is from Harold Jordan.
Okay. Hi, Harold.
He said, "What type of bass do you record with?" It's funny too, because Kat, you always say how much you like it when I play the bass.
I do.
Remember, I used to play at church when we first met, and
Yeah.
now we've been together quite a while, so I guess it was working. But to answer your question, I have a Carvin bass, and I have an endorsement with them, and it is the SB4000. So it's a 4-string, and it's the Sekou Bunch signature model. They don't make it anymore, and it's a cool bass. I usually have somebody replace it, an amazing bass player such as Mel Brown or Nathaniel Kearney Jr., but on the new album, I did play bass on a couple songs. I played on track 9, Undeniable, and I also played on track 8, Come On and Dance. So I'm debuting my electric bass skills on this new album.
Nice.
And then I played key bass. I play key bass on all the records on a couple tracks as well. So I'm actually playing bass on 4 of the tunes, 4 of the
Yeah.
6. Yeah.
And you know what? I think that one of these shows for AH Live, that Adam should play keyboards for a song for me.
You know, keyboard was my first instrument, so I know a little bit about what I'm doing.
Because so many people, they liked last week when you were playing
Right.
key bass, and you know you had your video, and so I think people would enjoy you
All
playing
right.
the keys.
I got to work up the chops though, because I don't play live really ever. It's always in the studio. You get a chance to punch in, do it over till you get it right. So I'll have to work something.
Okay, yeah, you practice on that, and I'll figure out a song that we can do.
These are some really specific questions. He said, "Do you use an amp or go direct to the board when you record?" So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not familiar with what he's talking about, obviously, guitarists, we can plug into an amp, and then you could put a microphone on the amp and record yourself, or you could just take your guitar and plug straight in to the board. Essentially, you're bypassing the amp. So, to answer your question, I do go direct most of the time. But sometimes I use an amp. It's a bit of both. So it just kind of depends on the song. So I guess both is the answer. Then he asked, wow, these are very specific. You must be an audiophile. What is the brand of monitor behind your left shoulder? So I use Genelec monitors, and I've been using those for the last 2 or 3 years, and they're fantastic. They sound gorgeous. So Harold Jordan with some really specific questions.
I know.
He knows what he's talking about.
But it's always cool when people ask, really intricate questions about, your gear or your instrument. And then, too, it gets other people a little bit information for things that they would have known or even, thought about.
That reminds me, too, a few weeks ago, and I apologize, maybe put in the comments if this was you. Someone asked, what are the birds on my guitar? I remember seeing that a few. Let me see if I can do a close-up here. Let me get the guitar cam going.
Guitar cam.
There we go. Get it in focus. There they are. So they are decorative, yes, but they also serve a function. Each one of these is signifying one of the frets on the guitar. And here, I'll go back to me one more time. And if you can see here, I don't know if you can see, but there's a dot also for me to see on the top of the neck. But anyways, basically, they're locators. So I can look down and see, oh, there's this bird and this bird and this bird and so on. And so it signifies this is the 3rd fret, 5th fret, 7th fret, 9th fret, 12th, and so on. So it just helps me kind of find where I am on the guitar. A lot of guitars have dots, but this manufacturer, PRS, who I'm endorsed with and been with them for now 9 years, they got a little more fancy with it and did these gorgeous birds. And this is a very special guitar. They sell this model. You can buy this model, Hollow Body 2, but you can't get it in this color and with this unless you special order it. This was specially made for me when I was on tour with Jennifer Lopez. So they I said, hey, I need a white guitar. And they actually took it upon themselves to not only, fulfill the color request, but also do the gold hardware. And it just turned out just so gorgeous.
Yeah, it's really nice.
And so shout out to PRS. They've been fantastic.
PRS.
I have a few of their instruments, but this is obviously the main one I do on the Adam Holly shows. So there you go.
There you go. Was that the last question?
I think that was it. If you don't have any more, I think we made it through all the Ask Adams.
I think we did get through all the Ask Adams, and I hope I'm not missing any because we had so many carried over.
Yeah.
But if I find another one, then I will definitely carry it over to next week.
Perfect. Yeah, there's always next week. So awesome. Thank you so much, honey. We will see you next week. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to let you know who we have next week on the show. And we have the return of Gregory Goodlow, guitarist from the Denver area. He was nice enough to come hang with us a few months ago, and he's got a new song coming out called Somewhere Out There. So we got a chance to sit down, chat about it, and he's going to do a performance of it for you, his brand new single, Gregory Goodlow. So make sure to tune in for that next Wednesday. Excited to have him in, and of course we'll have a bunch more new music. I'll preview some more music from my new record, and of course we'll have a little bit more updates of you, what we've been going on through the week. Of course we'll have a lot of pictures from these shows, 5 shows in 5 days, so we'll have a lot to catch you up on with that too. And just a quick reminder, if you want to grab the new album, you can now order it off of my website, adamholly.com. I'll send you a signed copy. And if you want to support the show, click the link in the description, PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, of course, stars. And we appreciate you guys so much. You guys are keeping us going. We're at episode 72 and counting. So I want to take you out with one more tune. And this is a tune that is from my third record, the previous one. And it's a tune I wrote for and dedicated to my lovely wife, Kat. It's called Thinking of You, and I hope y'all enjoy it. Oh, yes, ladies and gentlemen, that was Thinking of You. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of AH Live. It was so awesome to have Brian Clay in the house. Tune in next week for Gregory Goodlow. Have a great night. We'll see y'all next week.